Good morning. My name is Christina Ting Sroat. I'm a graduate of Notre Dame's class of 1988, and I'm also the proud mom of a student here, Emma Sroat, class of 2017, who, by the way, didn't know I was coming to speak today, so she's probably cringing and saying, who the heck gave that woman a mic? So here we go. I attended Notre Dame Elementary right up the hill and came to Notre Dame because back then, that's what you did. You came to Notre Dame. And I can say without any doubt that I am who I am today because of this school and the sisterhood of Notre Dame. I was asked to speak to you today about what the sisterhood means to me and how it's made me the person I am. Luckily for all of you, they only gave me a few minutes because I could actually talk about this for hours. But as I said earlier, I know summer is knocking at the door, so we're going to try to keep this short and sweet. As a freshman, I knew absolutely nothing. I could barely find my locker, let alone get the darn thing open. I hoped to God my teachers wouldn't call me in class and that upperclassmen wouldn't make eye contact with me. Try being a 5'10" girl with a bad perm and braces who wanted to just blend in. It wasn't so easy. My stomach would knot up in a tight ball before certain classes because I didn't feel I prepared hard enough. Or I just didn't feel like putting on that one piece and swim cap in PE class that day. What I lacked was confidence and a voice. Notre Dame helped me find both those things. I'm grateful to my incredible teachers for that, but I am most eternally grateful for my schoolmates at Notre Dame for encouraging me and giving me the shove I needed to discover that I was capable of speaking up and that even if I gave the wrong answer or offered a different point of view, it was okay. Fast forward to my senior year, I'm sure most were regretting helping me because at that point, I just wouldn't shut up. I even came down with laryngitis during my senior year and literally lost my voice. Like I opened my mouth and nothing came out. But that didn't stop me from raising my hand in class and saying what I wanted to say. I remember frantically scribbling on a blank piece of paper the points I wanted to make, raising my hand, and having a friend read my thoughts for me in Mr. McKenna's class. I was no longer that quiet girl that arrived at Notre Dame 4 years earlier. Finding my voice and gaining confidence gave me the strength to leave the Bay Area and attend Boston College, where I didn't know a soul. I don't know if I could have done that if I didn't attend Notre Dame. It's allowed me to become a leader at work and fight my way up the corporate ladder, and I'm extremely, extremely grateful for that. My closest friends to this day are women I met here at Notre Dame, the same people who were the first passengers in our cars after getting our license, the same people who we snuck off campus with, the same people we went to concerts with, the same people we did group projects with, the same people we kidnapped to take to breakfast before school on their birthdays, the same people who we fought with about stupid stuff in high school, have since been to our weddings, been our bridesmaids, been at the hospital when we went into labor, our godmothers to our kids, been our post-college roommates, and even been in attendance together at funerals. One friend who I hold close to my heart was someone I met here as a freshman. We were astonished at how much we had in common and did everything together. I even have a double piercing in my left ear as permanent reminder of our friendship because she and I split the cost of an impromptu ear piercing at Hillsdale one day. We even had the same taste in boys as she ended up marrying my high school boyfriend. Sadly, though, my dear friend Candy passed away in 2003 from ovarian cancer. On the day of her funeral, another Notre Dame alumni made the early morning drive down to Santa Barbara to be there to support her family and loved ones, several of whom were other Notre Dame alumni. After the service, we got back in my car and headed straight to San Francisco in order to make it in time for the wedding of another close friend from Notre Dame. My point in telling the story is to say that I appreciate the value of sisterhood and being others' support system, because I know that if the tables were turned, my Notre Dame sisters would have done the same for me. And even if you don't have that friend you think of as a sister, you all have that one thing in common that no one, I mean no one other than a Notre Dame student can understand. Even before hashtags were invented, hashtag it's a Notre Dame thing would have made perfect sense to every Notre Dame student to describe one of the best events of the year, aquacades. I stood along the side of the pool of this year's aquacades and the smell of chlorine, the lapping of the water, the anticipation and excitement in the air brought me way back. It's like nothing had changed. I miss that, and one day you all will too. To me, Aquacades is symbolic of what the Sisterhood of Notre Dame is all about. Sure, it's an opportunity for you all to go full out and show your competitive spirit, but more importantly, it's about working together and creating a memory that you will always look upon with great fondness and recall decades after as one of the best times you've ever had in your life. Sisterhood doesn't refer to just the connection you have with those in your graduating class. Some of my favorite people are women who graduated from Notre Dame before and after me. That's the benefit of being in a smaller school. Use that to your advantage. I'm not talking about making sure you just know their names or follow them on Instagram. I mean, say hello and get to know people. For you freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, take the time to connect. For you seniors, this is not the end by any means. Being part of the Notre Dame community means having each other's backs, being there for one another, and being true to who you are. Whether you're an Avenger, a Gladiator, a Royal, or a Triton, you all have that one thing in common. You're all Notre Dame. Take a look. Your sisters are sitting all around you. Please keep in touch with one another long after you've left here, and as your class names suggest, be heroes and advocates for one another. Support each other and be supportive of yourself. In light of her very recent passing, I'd love to share with you a quote by the very inspiring Maya Angelou. The sisters and brothers that you meet give you the materials which your character uses to build itself. It is said that some people are born great, others achieve it, some have it thrust upon them. In truth, the ways in which your character is built have to do with all three of those. Those around you, those you choose, and those who choose you. As I tell my kids often, life is about making choices. Make good ones and be well. I wish you all great success in all that you do. Thank you for listening and enjoy your summer break. You all certainly deserve it.
Good morning, Royals, Avengers, Gladiators, and graduating Tritons of the class of 2014. My name is Berit Dailey, class of 1986, also known as the Mariners. But more importantly, I am the mother of one of my favorite people who will join my ranks as an alum tomorrow night, Berit Dailey. When I was asked to present today, my first reaction was, what high school girl wants her mother to lecture the entire student body? But as it turns out, I'm standing here before you today entirely because of the encouragement of my daughter. I believe her exact words were, "Mom, you have to do it." So here I am. Now, girls, if you're fortunate enough to have a teenage daughter of your own someday, you will certainly understand the feeling of gratitude I have to be invited into your world by my daughter. Seniors in particular have heard from a number of parents in the last couple of weeks. So I thank and credit Notre Dame for creating a place where families and alumni are so appreciated and included. I came to Notre Dame High School as a graduate of NDE. I came because in 1982, that's what you did. There really weren't many choices and there really weren't many decisions to be made. Some of you were here because your parents made you. Some of you specifically sought out an all-girls education. Some of you needed a fresh start, and some of you just didn't want to have to pick out an outfit in the morning. Regardless of what got you here, this is now the beginning of your story. As the seniors and any adult you meet can attest, high school is not easy. Sometimes the pressure can be too much. Sometimes the girls are too mean. Sometimes you hate your parents. Sometimes you can't figure out where you fit in. Maybe today you can't believe you had to put your uniform on again after a long week of finals. And as I speak, your mind might be wandering, and I get it. You might be thinking about summer or maybe what you'll be doing as soon as you're finally released today. If you're a senior, I'm sure the anticipation is even greater. But whether you intend them to or not, whether you realize it or not, your years at Notre Dame begin to shape who you are. I emphasize the word begin because, ladies, you are certainly not finished. There is lots of shaping still to come. But the people around you right now will always be part of your story, beginning to help you determine who you are, who you want to be, and sometimes, even more importantly, who you don't want to be. Your experiences here are sometimes joyful, sometimes stressful, sometimes fun, sometimes painful, but they will always be part of your story. You may be the sentimental type who recognizes some of these people and these experiences for their significance already. If you're more like me, though, it may be a few years from now, when one of the people sitting next to you on your wedding day is also one of the people who sat next to you while you served a detention for fraternizing with boys, you will feel the significance. Those were actually the words written on a detention I got after I was caught talking to a boy in the parking lot. When one of the first visitors to the hospital after you deliver your first baby is the same person who is drowning in the pool next to you during aquacades, you will feel the significance. When the person you cry with when life gets hard or your job gets stressful is the same person who cried with you about his high school heartbreak, you will feel the significance. When the people who still make you laugh harder than anyone have been doing so for 32 years, you know it's significant. And if you stand among some of your very dearest friends and favorite people during the Notre Dame legacy photo with their Notre Dame daughters, like I did last week, you will definitely feel the significance. If you are not lucky enough to enjoy some of the kind of enduring friendships that I have, know that you will still always be bonded with the people among whom you sit today by traditions and experiences unique to Notre Dame. No one else in the world will ever get aquacades like these ladies do. In fact, the rest of the world will always look at you kind of funny when you mention synchronized swimming competition. They'll think you're making it up. No one else in the world will know that Halloween is actually called Dingbat Day. No one else in the world will appreciate how your pulse raced a little bit when you passed Mr. McKenna in the hallway while sporting a little dress code violation. And while no one else in the world remembers the color of the walls in their high school hallways, you will always remember that yours were carpeted. One day, you will all be memorialized with a picture in the halls of your alma mater. Girls who come after you will laugh at your hair and try to guess what you were all about. You will wear white gloves and white shoes on graduation. You will groan about having to wear the nylons. But you will do it like so many before and after you, because you are a Notre Dame Tiger, and this is the beginning of your story. My final words are specifically for the class of 2014. Tomorrow night, you will end a chapter and join me and so many others as a Notre Dame alum. Some of us wore red, some of us wore green, some of us wore purple. You and I wore blue. Be kind, be happy, aim high, and keep telling your story. Congratulations, ladies.